Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a very fun theme team in the Great League, the Triple Ape theme team. These battles were submitted to the channel by a member of the community, so many thanks for the battle submission. Now, the Triple Ape theme team features Oranguru on the lead, with Primeape with Legacy Crosschop and Infernape in the back. This is definitely not a team I would recommend for climbing, but this battler is able to get some very crazy wins. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out the Triple Ape theme team in action in the Great League. Hopping into the first match, picking up a great lead, Oranguru into Shadow Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen actually staying in here. They're going to fire off a Poison Fang, but they're taking massive confusion damage to do so. Oranguru, very tanky, absorbs the Poison Fang and is going to fire back with the Foul Play. Foul Play will be taking out the Nidoqueen, so they're forced to commit a shield. Nidoqueen fires off their second Poison Fang, but they throw on alignment, giving Oranguru a free confusion that is going to KO. Opponent sends in Shadow Swampert. Now that the Oranguru's debuffed, Swampert going for the Mudshot farm down. This is quite scary. Shadow Swampert hits very hard, and the backline of this team is very frail. Swampert has so much energy. In comes Primeape. Swampert easily has the back-to-back Hydro Cannons here. Primeape commits the shield. Swampert farms up, goes for a catch, and that's a mistake by the opponent, because now the Primeape should be able to bank a Night Slash for later, and Primeape is going to win CMP over Swampert. Primeape banks a move and a beautiful catch, able to catch what should be a Flame Charge onto the Infernape. Infernape farming up. Unfortunately, Talonflame is going to be able to outpace here and fire off a second Flame Charge. Flame Charge, barely not enough to KO. Infernape lets itself get taken out. Primeape just has to farm up to the back-to-back, and they do. The opponent saved energy on Swampert, but they will not get to use it. Primeape wins the CMP tie. Night Slash will take down the Swampert and clutch the game. Hopping into the next match, leading Oranguru into Swampert. Definitely nice to catch the Swampert on the lead this time, so hopefully it can be kept away from the Infernape. Swampert banks a bunch of energy and save switches into Talonflame. Oranguru farms up, goes for the Psychic, but loses CMP. This is enough for the Brave Bird. Oranguru calls the bait, and it's only a Flame Charge. That is a massive no shield. Oranguru fires off the Psychic. Talonflame commits the first shield. Oranguru is going to be able to outpace and reach a second Psychic. Does Talonflame want to give up the final shield? Yes, they do. Talonflame farms down. They leave with a lot of energy, but no shields remaining. In comes Primeape. This is enough for a Brave Bird. Primeape respects it. It is the Brave Bird, and an immediate switch back into Swampert. Swampert, I believe, is close to the back-to-back Hydro Cannons here. Fires off the first, and firing off the second. Primeape is going to commit the final shield, because this Swampert cannot afford to see the Infernape. Farms up, fires off the Night Slash. This will be taking care of the Swampert. We know they have the Talonflame. In it comes, able to reach a second Night Slash. That's big. That's going to be taking down the Talonflame. It's all up to Infernape. In the back, it's Melmetal, and Infernape will be able to win this game. This Rock Slide is only going to hit for neutral damage. Infernape tanks it like a champion and reaches the Blast Burn. Blast Burn cooks the Melmetal, and that is a good game. Tough lead in the next match, Oranguru into Skarmory. Honestly, Skarmory is a massive core breaker for this entire team, so right off the bat, things are not looking great. Skarmory is going to fire off the Sky Attack. Oranguru tanks it and is going to return fire with the Foul Play. Foul Play is going to get some solid chip damage onto the Skarmory. It lands, and then a save switch into Infernape. Infernape doing some solid damage with the Fire Spins, but unfortunately Skarmory reaches a second Sky Attack. Infernape commits the shield. In comes Umbreon. Umbreon fires off a move after 4 Snarls. This can only be a Foul Play. Infernape is glassy, but it's not glassy enough where a Foul Play is going to KO it from half health. Infernape going for the Blast Burn bait. Blast Burn gets the shield. Infernape is going to fire off the close combat. Let's see, do they respect the damage? They do not, and Umbreon is nearly one-shot. Oh my goodness. And it's a CMP tie as well. Even better. In comes Primeape. Primeape able to farm down. The Skarmory's pretty low, so if they bring it in, it's just going to get countered down. And in the back, they have Galarian Stunfisk. Things suddenly looking incredibly good. Primeape with the energy lead fires off the Cross Chop. Cross Chop gets the final shield, and from here, Primeape is just strictly going to be able to outpace the Stunfisk. Primeape able to land the Cross Chop. Primeape will commit the shield. It's a Rock Slide bait, but that does not matter. Primeape farms down, and that is a good game. Nightmare lead in the next match, Oranguru into Scrafty. Safe switch into Infernape, which is going to be met with Talonflame. This is enough for the Brave Bird. Tough decision to make. Infernape lets it through, and it's a Flame Charge bait. That is a massive no shield, because now Infernape has double Blast Burn and can really apply some shield pressure. Blast Burn number 1 gets a shield. Had the second one, but instead of throwing it, goes for the extra fire spin, and now, unfortunately, will have to commit a shield to fire off this second Blast Burn. Firing off the second Blast Burn, opponent does commit both shields, but unfortunately, without winning switch advantage, I think you kind of just have to let the Oranguru go, because there's nothing it can do to Scrafty. Talonflame goes for a Hurricane. You definitely do see some interesting movesets in these first few weeks of a season. Primeape able to farm down. Back in comes the Scrafty. Hopefully this means whatever is in the back is going to be weak to Primeape, but things are not looking good. Cross Chop gets them very low. Primeape commits the shield. It's an Acid Spray of all things. They get taken out by a Whimsicott, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Oranguru into Wigglytuff. Fairly neutral lead, and with 2 fighters in the back, definitely where you do want to see the Charmer. Oranguru farms up and is going to fire off the Psychic. Psychic does get shielded and going to safe switch into Infernape. Infernape taking some heavy neutral damage from the Charms. Infernape is going to shield. Opponent fires off the Play Rough. They're able to do a nice amount of fire spin damage and able to farm down. That's huge. In comes Swampert. Infernape going for the close combat. Close combat gets the shield and unfortunately not able to reach a second close combat. In comes Primeape. Primeape is at an energy disadvantage here, but Swampert does have no shields. Cross Chop not going to be enough to KO, but will do a solid chunk of damage onto the Swampert. The question is, can Primeape counter down before Swampert reaches the next Hydro Cannon? Brings in Oranguru and a beautiful catch. Very nicely done. And now it's all up to Primeape. The question is, what is that final Pokemon? It's Galarian Stunfisk. So that catch ends up winning them the game, because now Primeape is going to be able to reach the back-to-back Cross Chops. First one gets them low, second one takes them out, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Oranguru into Altaria. Definitely nice to catch the Altaria on the lead. Oranguru needs to stay in here. Oranguru farms up, Altaria fires off the Sky Attack, and an immediate shield from the Oranguru, needing to keep it healthy. Opponent safe switches into Umbreon, and Umbreon will be met with Primeape. So long as they're not running Psychic, this is a very comfortable matchup, and they're running Last Resort. That's huge. Primeape able to farm up and reach the back-to-back Cross Chops here. Firing off the first. Cross Chop actually gets shielded by the Umbreon, a bit of a surprise, and they're going to have to commit the second shield as well if they want to keep the Umbreon. They decide to let it go and bring back in Altaria for the farm down. Altaria not quite able to farm down before Primeape reaches a last second Night Slash. Night Slash gets the Altaria low. Back in comes Oranguru. Oranguru going for the Psychic. Psychic for sure will KO if they let it through, and they do. In the back, it's a Bastiodon. Is that an Iron Tail Bastiodon? Oh no. Opponent running an Iron Tail Bastiodon. Please, I beg of you, TM that over to SmackDown. It's going to work a lot better for you. Either way, whether it was SmackDown or Iron Tail, this game would be over because Infernape has the back-to-back close combats, fires off the first, that gets the shield. This second close combat will be taking out the Bastiodon, and that is a good game. Tough lead in the next match, Oranguru into Galvantula. Staying in this matchup to start, getting some nice confusion damage, switch and a beautiful catch, catching the lunge onto the Primeape where it is going to be resisted. Galvantula staying in. This is a good matchup for them, but Primeape is able to outpace. The debuff Night Slash is not going to be enough to KO though, but Primeape is able to get the boost. That is quite nice. Primeape is going to shield up the second lunge and counter down. So now Primeape has switch advantage. advantage. In comes Alomomola. Primeape tried to go for the extra counter and dies with a move. That is quite unfortunate, as that extra damage would have been very nice going up against a Pokemon as bulky as Alomomola. Alomomola does shield up the Psychic as they continue to farm. Tough decision to make. Oranguru commits the shield, and it is the Blizzard, so a very nice shield. Builds up to the Psychic, baiting with the Foul Play. Foul Play, able to land. Is this Confusion farm down range? Oranguru is able to farm down, leaves with a move. In the back, it's Scrafty, and this is looking a little rough. Goes for the Psychic. Scrafty shields, a massive mistake from the opponent, and that should allow Infernape to win here. If the opponent kept a shield, they would have been able to shield the close combat and counter down, but since they did not, this close combat will one-shot the Scrafty, and that is a good game. The bad leads continue in the next match, leading Oranguru into another Galvantula. My guess is same game plan as last time, fire off the Confusion, switch, and catch the lunge onto the Primeape. Very nicely done. Like last game, this Galvantula is choosing to stay in. Primeape is going to be able to outpace and threaten a shield with a Night Slash. Night Slash does actually get shielded this time, and I think at this point, I agree with this decision. Basically just let it go, and instead, go for a farm down with your Infernape. Infernape with energy can put in a lot of work. Going to bring in the Infernape. Infernape looking for the farm down. Opponent not going to let that happen. They switch into Galarian Stunfisk, but that is not a great response. Blast Burn, able to grab the final shield. Things looking very nice for Infernape here. Infernape is going to respect the potential Earthquake. They go for a Rock Slide bait, which would only be neutral. Infernape able to reach a second Blast Burn. This will easily be taking out the Stunfisk. We know they have the low health Galvantula. What is the final Pokemon? They bring in Galv. It gets farmed down, and they concede the match. Hopping into the final match, leading Oranguru into Granbull. Again, very nice to catch the Charm user on the lead. These Confusions shredding through Granbull. Opponent save switches into a Water Gun Quagsire, which will be met with the Primeape. Again, early season battles, you're going to see some wild movesets. You definitely do want to run Mud Shot on Quagsire, and they're running Acid Spray as well. Speaking of crazy movesets, Primeape fires off the Night Slash, shield from the Quagsire. Primeape able to reach a second Night Slash. Does Quagsire want to give up that final shield? And they do. Quagsire double shielding for a switch advantage, but I'm not sure that's honestly going to help them. In comes Oranguru. Oranguru is looking to try and shield and farm down. Quagsire goes for another Acid Spray. Oranguru leaves with a ton of energy. Opponent brings in the Granbull. Granbull is not going to appreciate this Psychic. Psychic takes out the Granbull. In the back, they have a Charge Beam Shadow Zapdos. Oh no, that is not good. They fire off the Drill Peck, and Infernape able to reach the Blast Burn. Blast Burn will easily take down the Zapdos, and that is a good game. All in all, some incredibly fun battles featuring the Triple Ape theme team. I definitely love seeing when members of the community submit their own theme teams, so that way I get to see some ideas for teams that I may have never even personally thought of. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.